Well, hello people, and welcome back to part 4 of our Manor Lords update for playthrough. Hope you're having a wonderful day. Just taking a stroll alongside... Oh, my word. I was just taking a stroll along the bridge before it phased out of existence. The Lord would be furious. What an opening to the episode. Everyone, welcome back to Manor Lords. I was taking a walk at my apple orchards here, as this outer line bit of town really takes on the theme, doesn't it? A lot like smaller little personal farms out here, rather than the industrial grain farms we will hopefully be setting up today as well. Well, welcome back everyone to the wonderful city builder that is Manor Lords. Great to be back, isn't it? Really enjoying this game at the moment. But the town is growing out. Today what I'd like to do is expand the population of shack spits with some row housing. Because I think we're going to need to build some smaller plots with just single families in them to meet some new artisan demands that the city is getting. So let's draw up straight behind our pub here. We'll kind of box all these buildings in. The clay furnace, honestly, this can be demolished now. So we want to draw up some roads to help us accommodate these row homes. We're going to come right up next door to our berry harvester, I think. And then let's send a road down to the bushes. And I think we'll prepare our row housing to kind of sit in this spot here. We can also build some around this area too. So wait for these supplies to be picked up here. Shouldn't take them too long. I do love seeing them turn up with their little wheelbarrows and load the supplies away. It's very cool. So with the row homes, let's draw in a little space here. That should be big enough. We could go... Yeah, we can't go any higher than that with 2. But that should be okay. Let's do that then. And then we'll do something pretty similar here as well. Maybe a little bit smaller than that. Let's come away from Snap's Road a bit sooner here. See if we can bring that in. Yeah, that'll be good. So these houses are meant to specifically be the artisans. That will develop into many different things in terms of what else we need. If we can find one with an upgrade. It would be great to get the tailor's workshop. That's going to give us some more clothing demand, which we will eventually need. The bakery as well can also be nice when we do start importing flour, but we'll get that from Wildfeld, I imagine. So these will get built over time. In terms of our armed forces at the minute, the next kind of major fight now is going to be with Hildebart when we eventually go to war with him, taking off these provinces, and then the final fight, of course. So I think we will invest in some mercenaries, I think. So we have the Wayward Sons. These look the most appealing and the kind of middle of the road in terms of cost as well. Going to be getting heavy archers, so it's going to give us 2 archer units. I'm going to assign those mercenaries. So the mercenaries have arrived. Let's just come and send them. No, let's put them in the fort. I think that's going to be most appropriate, isn't it? They can stand on guard in the fort, which should be quite cool to see some soldiers just out there actually. But we need to make sure we keep in some treasury wealth spare to actually pay them every month as well. Also, let's take a minute to enjoy some of the sights and sounds as always of Manor Lords every week, right? Simulation in this game is clinically proven to be good for your soul. Very nice. But this shouldn't take too long to get people in. They're going to be right by near to the market. As they are coming in, let's make sure we keep the demand coming in. We've got quite a lot of logs to use up. Right, I reckon we can go for a fair bit of population increase here. Let's keep this running all the way down here. Let's also increase our basic services. Let's do a well, which would be... And again, we can upgrade this now, can't we? Yeah, let's do that. It's going to increase the capacity of the well to 50 burgage plots. We've got 5 available living space at the minute as well, which is nice. How are we doing for trade materials? Let's just have a little look while we're at the beginning of a new episode. Spears are coming in as well now, which is nice. Wouldn't mind hiring some more of my own spears too. Let's rearrange our roster here as well. You can now drag cards around and rearrange, which is tremendously helpful. I like to keep it kind of retinue, spears and archers. In terms of our food economy, last episode we realised honey and apples are going to be quite a big crutch for us. I wouldn't mind getting some new apiaries down too, to help increase the amount of honey. And then in terms of food trade, I think we will go for a little bit of apple export, I think. It is a minor trade, isn't it? Yeah, so we will be able to sell it. And sell everything, I guess, over. We got, how much food do we have at the minute? A year's worth, so let's say anything over 30, sell that. And we'll see how that affects things. We might need to raise that in the future, possibly, but we'll just play it by ear. There's also new houses out here that want apple orchards as well now. This one is next up, I think. We'll also... do we want to... Yeah, I think we will increase the living space over here too. Happy for that to keep happening. Wonderful. So everyone's pretty happy here. Our men are squeezing through the gate slowly. One by one. They are filtering through. How cool is that? It would be a really nice feature to add, wouldn't it, if the retinue would also stand outside the manor, almost as if they are kind of on duty. Very cool indeed. So the mercenaries, they're just going to need to chill out here until we need them. Which won't be in the too distant future, I don't think. Let's head over to Wildfeld, because this place does have farmland about it, which is what I want to take advantage of. So in terms of what we do want to grow here, now is rye still locked behind the technology? Yeah, rye cultivation's 2 technologies away, so that's not going to be anytime soon, so let's not focus on rye. But we do have some slightly less impressive Emma fertility here. But it should be enough to run a couple of fields, which is all we really want. So let's come into farming for the first time. Of course, first of all we go a farmhouse, and then let's build out our fields. So we'll have this pretty much. I'm pretty sure 1 Morgan is still the best size to stick to with the, I think we'll make the most of the shape of the fertility here if we can. What does that bring us up to? That's exactly 1 Morgan. So let's see if we can take it up to the road. 1.3. Perfect. Let's get this farmhouse built too. I also wouldn't mind getting some extra workers into the mine. And we can do the upgrade now as well. Let's upgrade the storehouse. We are, I guess, keeping quite a lot of iron ore here, aren't we? Yeah, so if one family's keeping 109 surplus, we probably don't need a second family in the mine, which is fine. But this will grow here. We can start growing Emma. Now, in a view to process that, we will also want our windmill to be going to eventually process that. Now, we want windmill efficiency is 100 over here. We probably want this near the farm, don't they? It should probably make sense right there, shouldn't it? And then let's do some more fields as well. I don't just want 1. Let's kind of go something like this. That's 1.6. We'll do it. And then we could even have another one out here as well. How far does this green go? Yeah, we get a fair chunk of green over here. Let's just roughly follow the outside of that as well. Slightly over 1 Morgan each here. But that's okay. I'm not going to be too bothered about that. And here comes our wonderful new farm. We can also start trading this as well, of course, because we did build these guys a trading post last episode. Still got 1 fisherman through here. Supplies are fairly good in this town. Got 22 months worth of food over this side. Let's also switch the saw pit back to the woodcutter's lodge as well now. Everyone's employed over here. Everyone seems to be having a good time. We'll start upgrading some more of these berry plots as well once we get some local trade going here. Let's focus on getting our farms done. Let's make sure we have this as highest priority. Shouldn't take them too long here to build out in the winter. Over what is a really quite breathtaking landscape, isn't it? What a world Manor Lords manages to kind of offer up. Really atmospheric, isn't it? Construction finishing at those burgage plots in Shaft's Pit, so let's head back over to them. Make sure everyone's okay. So they're not meeting initial requirements, but imagine they will when they move in, hopefully. We did that well upgrade. Oh yes, look at this. Our new upgraded well, isn't that fancy? There's a couple of people queuing there for water, but it seems to be okay, right? Another person getting it there as well. Very cool, isn't it? Seeing them go to the well to fill up like that. Really sweet. Let's watch this here. Even pulls the water from bucket to bucket. A great animation. Simply superb. Really like that. Cool, so all these new homes here are starting to give us some spare families, which is great. So you are to get apples. And then I wouldn't mind sticking another family in trade. Got 98 going out there. How are we doing for spares now? We can arm 11 men. And what sort of war materials do we have? Not a ton of spare spares. I guess they are just slowly being brought in. They're quite expensive, aren't they? Let's have a look at them. I also wouldn't mind unlocking large shields as an option as well, because we will need them, so I wouldn't mind importing them. We'll say import 20 at a time, in case we need to summon some more men. And this is a major trade, so it will require the trade route unlocking. We'll have to remember to do that when we get paid from said trade again. How are our tradespeople doing? Where's the livestock? Jorg is carrying a rider. Yeah, I wouldn't mind maybe buying them another horse now, especially there's 3 families working out the trade post. Large tavern is staying nice and stocked. There's plenty of booze over in the large granary, which is great. I could almost say off the back of that then, let's actually reduce our malt trade. Let's say don't buy in over 10 because we're more than enough supply for that. That should be fine. Cool. So we just got paid out the trade post. Let's sort those trades out now. Let's do the route for large shields. Okay, let's get that paid. And I'm also going to order you a new horse as well, I think. Also make sure we assign that in the livestock tab. I wouldn't mind also getting involved in some livestock trading here. So why don't we open up a livestock trading post for some future business with livestock traders. Where do we want this? We've got a town centre developing around here. So I wouldn't mind moving the Stonecourse camp and hunting camps out of town now, because we're getting a little bit more dense around here. So probably best to move these smaller buildings out of the way. We can have them just on the edge of town here. And then let's have a little look what's going on. Let's delete our roads around this way. Right, these supplies should get picked up pretty swiftly. And then here I want our livestock trader. Let's turn off snap to red. And let's have that right on the corner there. Still got 9 available living spaces here as well, which is good. With those available families, I did also mention some more honey as well, so let's get that going. Let's have our apiaries. We'll do them at the side of the fort here actually. Although I would like to save space for another larger building there maybe. Where do we want these? How about at the backs of the houses here? Nearby to our local industry. Let's set up a little apiary space. We'll do 1, 2, 3, and no 4. Although we can get a 4th one in there, which I'm happy with. Let's just draw some pathways around this. Route you would take the workers to. Route you would expect the workers to take around there. Now, do you want to maybe consider moving to this level? A couple of bits up to level 2. Let's do us doing pretty well over here. A couple of shots level 3. That'll be level 3 as well. Let's bring 2 more buildings up here to level 2, I think. We can also do the living space there as well. I'm not going to do living space, so this will probably end up becoming an artisan at some point too. But I don't want to lose 2 families to that, if that's the case. Cool. So let's get these apiaries going immediately. Enjoy the hustle and bustle of the village up on the wood-cutting hillside here, as our logging camps continue to make more progress into the countryside, which I would like to keep clearing a lot of this riverside. I imagine the the town is probably going to grow along the river as things develop. So we'll keep, actually not, maybe even worth sticking that third family in there and telling them to kind of get on with it. Do we also want to consider a new ox for these guys? Maybe give them a dedicated ox, which might be quite nice for them. I think we will. Let's do... We'll have to wait 4 days to get a new ox because they only have the livestock trader periodically, so we'll wait until we get that new ox. Let's also go ahead and throw workers back into our hunting camp as well. Kunz is immediately going hunting, which is I'm sure a traditional German name. Although, not quite, in my perspective at least. Hilarious either way. So we're carrying on hunting again. Stone cutting's not a major thing in the minute, so I don't think we'll put that family back in. So otherwise we're getting plenty of spare workers through here now. Some of this spare housing is also starting to fill up. You are immediately going to go to level 2. And I think we'll sacrifice this new person immediately to become an artisan. Let's begin producing something else for us. Happy with the tannery here, you guys waiting? Do we not have any hide coming in at the minute? We do not, so you can just go do something else. Otherwise, just making sure our initial set of level 2s are still satisfied. Yeah, the new one is over here as well. You can also have living space. I guess I'm quite happy to keep going on with the density. It'll bring you to level 2. And then that's the last one we need, and then we can turn our attention to level 3 to start looking at bringing shack space up to large village, which would be some great progress. Let's make sure we keep on top of our initial production chains here. Yeah, so we've got plenty of logs out here now, haven't we? Let's calm down with the forestry. And let's turn our attention to farming. So we'll put a worker into the farmhouse, and then we turn our attention towards the crop fields, which will run on a 3-year rotation, essentially. So these 2 fields here we'll turn our attention to those in a second. So first year here, let's plant wheat, okay? We also definitely want crop rotation on as well. So then in the 2nd year in this first field, we'll do fallow, 3rd year fallow. So essentially what we want to do is to move through the fields now to keep a healthy crop rotation going is in this field. We want to do crop rotation 2. It's going to do fallow this year, but year 2 it's going to do wheat. Year 3 will be fallow. There's field 1, wheat in the 1st year. This one, wheat in the 2nd year. And then our 3rd field, crop rotation. We're going to do wheat, and then we're going to say wheat in the 3rd year, then put this on fallow. So when it's fallow, it's going to help repair the field's fertility, which is important, otherwise your harvests will diminish into nothing if you don't allow your fields to fallow. And then let's draw some roads alongside these fields here, shall we? So that should give us a pretty healthy crop rotation. Now we don't need a ton of it. A little bit of it will feed this village, but we'll probably trade quite a bit of it for some regional wealth. Draw roads up here too. Cool. So our people are coming into plough by hand, which will take them a while. If you want to specialise a farming province, the ploughing station is an excellent addition to your ox working. Our pantry is full at the burgage pot over here. Our people, I think, still transporting goods, aren't they? Yeah, I think it shouldn't go off. They're keeping it stocked relatively well now. Everyone over here is just so happy, and since we got trade posts and farmers and whatnot now, I think we're due some population increase here. Again, we'll keep it, so actually we'll just send it all the way up there now. Let's do this right here. That's way too many, I don't want that, so let's cool it down a little bit. 3 families, what would that give us? We want general logging resources, trading posts, that's kind of 3 families, and then the farmers, so we would have a current spare. Well, let's do 3 for the time being. I don't want to go kind of crazy with the expansion. I did not leave enough room for the artisans, did I? That is an error from me, that's fine. We'll keep these houses in, but we're going to change these 2 to become artisans. Okay, so let's rebuild these guys again. This time with the artisan spot, which is definitely something we need. Tons of new family members coming in. Let's keep all these stuff working. Let's get more apiarists in too. Let's make sure all of these have at least one person in. Superb. In terms of everything else here, we've got really good stockpiles of most things. Those vegetable plots are really kicking in now. I wouldn't actually mind a few more of those, but we'll see what happens. Yeah, so with you, yeah, we'll have to wait till someone moves in to get to level 2. That's absolutely fine. People are coming in all the time now. And then our other level 2 houses, are we okay here now? Yes, there we go. That's 9 of them all hit. And all of them are remaining satisfied, which is really good. I'm also going to continue building future artisan homes around here as well. Yeah, let's make sure we can get that. That's the actual living space, isn't it? Can we not get another artisan in here? No, that's just actual living space there. I'll tell you, I'm actually going to delete a few of these then. That was a mistake. I need to make them slightly larger. I'm happy for some initial row homes in, but I really do want some of them to be artisans. That's kind of the point of building them here, but we live and learn from our own mistakes. But how is this extra honey people affecting us? Yeah, we're up to 20 now, which is nice. I imagine a lot of that's making its way to the trading post. How much of that honey are we actually selling here? The desired 10% surplus, but we're keeping quite a bit ahead of that now, with 20, which is cool. The thing is, those spare families keep coming in. I'm just going to tell them to keep doing the honey, because it's an endless food resource. Let's actually also bring our berries back into play as well. It is spring now, but we don't want to miss out on them. I also love the herb garden, which we have the opportunity to get as I say it, so we'll do that. Oh, she can grow some herb. The little garden that pops up next door. New family members coming into here all the time now. Are we still managing to keep level 1 houses happy? We are. The supply seems to be there, which is good news. And then as those supplies get picked up, yeah, I do want to build another, what's it called, hitching post over here for our logging camp. Which we keep in 28. Now, are you people even working anymore? Yeah, you're waiting, aren't you? Yeah, we have tons of logs then. I'm actually going to remove 2 families from that now. We can really cool that down. And then I'm going to buy an ox here and then upgrade it into a stable straight away. Let's get these new homes built again. And we just want to go, even go a bit shallow on that. I'm trying to keep them as small as possible, really. But that's what we want to see there, right? The little shed with a hammer in it is the ability to upgrade to an artisan. Which is what you want to make sure you have when you're doing the various ones. Possibly move up to, we've got 2 horses here now, this is great. Do you want to go 5 people trading? Should we do it? Let's do it. Let's do 5 families trading. They should all still be having something to do. Stocking goods for sale, going for a drink, getting fuel supplies. Yes, they're all, actually, you know what? No, let's take that 5th family out and let's carry on hammering into the apiary stuff. I guess do we go with 5 families per apiary? Not sure with that one. I wouldn't mind developing some more food various plots as well. As good as the veg is for the time being, as we're growing our population at such a rapid rate at the minute, we don't want to fall too far behind. Shark's Bits, more family members are coming in there. The farmhouse people are getting fuel supplies. So they've sowed now, we're in the growing phase. They will harvest. Cool, we've got plenty more people in here now as well, haven't we? So let's go ahead and do some trading jobs here. What are you guys stockpiling? What's the main? Yes, selling some fish would be good, because this fish resource is just absolutely banging. So let's go food. We'll do fish here. Let's export it. The 3 coins isn't bad. And we've got a surplus of 174 now. Let's say sell anything over 60, because they have more than 2 years worth of food here. So we can sell quite a bit of it. There we go, now they're going to start immediately stocking that fish, which is wonderful. And I'm not going to buy you guys a horse just yet. Anything else we can sell here? Vegetables I think we'll keep. Actually, no, yeah, let's sell some veg too. Can we even sell veg? We can. This is going to be a bit of a bread basket province, isn't it? Especially with the size of these burgers plots we've made. Vegetables are going to be coming in thick and heavy here. Let's say anything over 100, sell it. And let's add a third worker in as well. Superb. We'll start acquiring some more regional wealth for this province as well now. We could also set up some more fields. What's the other fertility like? Flax is pretty terrible. There's no point going flax here. Barley. Yeah, there's not even a shred of green anywhere, is there? Not to the other side of the map for barley. So I guess we could, I mean, I'm happy to grow in yellow. It's not horrific. Red is what you really want to avoid with the growth. At least I found with the farms when we did some farming. It's you don't tend to get a lot out of it, but I think we can tolerate yellow. We might do another set of fields through here, maybe. We'll see what happens over time, though. There we go, getting some of that wealth in here now, aren't we? So, should we upgrade some provinces? Do you want to be... Well, we don't have the technology if we've got apples. Keep being veg, then. Veg is doing wonderfully well for this town, and we are selling it now as well. Let's do expanded living spaces, sure. Yeah, I'm happy for the extra families to move in here. Be plenty for you to do. Back to Shaq's bits, everyone's happy. We are approaching 61% happiness, which I guess is still okay. Cool, so all these artisan homes are built now. That's what we wanted. Should we just go ahead and remove these three? I think we probably should, shouldn't we? I'm just going to do it. Sorry if you're living there, but there is plenty of other space you can move into. Also remove our berry worker as well, and they can come and be apiarists for the summer. And with it being August, we're another month away from another apple harvest, which what we're going to have fruiting here now. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 apple orchards all about to fruit. I'm really interested to see just how much this hits the food here. Currently say we've only got 7 months worth of food left. We'll see what it does tomorrow. There you go, September, you're going to do it now? Okay, yeah, apple harvest has officially started. We can see the orchard people on their way. Got another 6 people in here now. Yeah, get to work, get to the trading posts. We're not getting many full signs here, are we? So I think we're okay for general storage workers. The tavern, I think, is okay, isn't it? Everyone's still happy with the tavern demand at these level 2 plots around here now. Yeah, let's do living space over there too. Now with these, do we want to consider moving up to level 3? I think we will. And then we're just going to see what we look like, I think. And we sustain a level 3 home and then work towards setting the settlement up with all these new people now. Just sustaining the level 3s. And then let's just see how that goes. Look at that. Isn't that wonderful? Isn't that wonderful? It's a real extension there along the front, isn't it? Really, really sweet. Looks like a proper building now, doesn't it, next door to our church? Well, hopefully look pretty cool from the river as well, which we'll take a look at. That's looking really cool from the river too, isn't it? Fantastic stuff. Really cool when you start to reach kind of the late to early to mid game in Manor Lords and you really see the settlement begin to buzz. Very cool. I really like it. Cool. Good. So 261 apples. Holy crap. And they're still coming in. They're still coming in. Isn't that brilliant? Isn't that great? 192. So of course we're also selling some apples as well, of course, let's not forget that. But they are dwindling now, aren't they? Okay, so with an apple harvest behind us then, that leaves us with 10 months of food at this size, where we have 41 families in so far, 132 population. Let's go ahead and rebuild the homes we took out because we forgot how to build artisans. Let's bring this up here. Probably need some more timber now, actually, don't we? Yeah, we do. Let's bring back the 3 families into the logging camp. Since there's just families coming out of our arse at the minute. Let's just keep assigning them to be APRists. Cool, so our level 3 house is in and we can immediately sustain it due to the food variation we prepared early game. Although that will drop away when the berries aren't in season, so we need to look at a 4th kind of permanent food source. Since meat and berries are both finite. And that will only continue, that kind of window of those both being available will shrink as we grow in population. So fish could be an option. We could send some fish via another pack station to Windfeld. But we'd have to send something in return. Exactly what we can send. Let's have a look at what we've currently got available. What can we send them? We could send them warbows. We do have quite a lot of warbows, I think, don't we? There's 32 in there, and they're being traded as well. So we could consider that then. We could steal fish from Shack's bits, and that would be a consistent feed. Let's maybe think about constructing another pack station then. We get this in here. We've got a nice little bit of land I've not been able to use here yet. So let's put another pack station in it. And then we'll buy them a mule, so pretty much straight away. And then get some fish coming into this village as well. Which is really exciting that we can only do level 3 houses. How many do we want? Only 3 of them? Or should we do that now? Should we do that now? I think I want to. Oh, I'm going to do it. It's a bit dangerous, but I'm going to do it. And of course we're out of bloody roof tiles, aren't we? Do we have any clay still? We do, so we will need to temporarily rebuild the clay furnace, which is fine. Which we will put over when we have enough timber. Anyway, we will. Also just going to realign the workspace for the logging camp here as well. So keep eating into this wider space here because the town's going to grow this way, I think. Second level 3 house here about to become complete. There we go. Again, it remains happy. Which is really cool to see. How are we doing for our army now as well? Really important we keep on top of this, I think. Because if we don't, we're not going to be able to... Oh, our mercenaries left. We must have been able to pay them. How about brigands for hire? A flock of crazy geese would be good, but a 90 a month, we can't sustain that just yet. Although I do want to save some treasury wealth to go set up the other settlement, so maybe we'll just hold off on the mercenaries just yet. We'll keep building our forces. How are we doing for trading spears as well? This guy here is apparently selling us our spears. The clay furnace has finished production. Let's go ahead and get someone working there. How are we doing for our iron production now? We've got 25 ore, which is quite nice. And that's with people also operating the bloomeries. And we are selling those, aren't we? Let me just double check. It should be commodities. No, we're not selling the tools actually. Which we will do. Let's export and do 30 on those. And we do need to buy the trade route, so we will do that this episode. We'll wait for another payment to come in. And then with the crafting materials, we are selling the iron bars, aren't we? Yeah, we are. Which seems to be doing okay, because we are keeping a stock of iron bars in at least. They're not draining. That could also just be people not making it to the trading post in time either. So let's have a look at this other pack station now. So about the partner Wildfeld. Let's receive fish. And then what can we send here? What do we have in abundance? We could send them honey again. It wouldn't be horrendous in terms of crafting materials. Hides aren't too bad, but again, it is a finite resource. I wonder actually, could we send them iron ore? Would that work? Because they're just going to send it straight back to us. I think I'm going to try that. We'll see if we can manipulate the pack station mechanic to essentially just run in a circle, giving us free fish. Because the iron ore is coming from them, they'll just take it back and then bring it back to get the honey. So we'll see if that works. Let's give it a worker. Yeah, we can't afford the mule just yet. But yeah, we'll we'll see what happens with that. Remember that I just want 25 regional wealth, and then we can get our final house here for Shack's bits, which will be really interesting. I can't wait to see what we can get for that. next perk point. Yeah, we had to wind in a little bit far down here. I think we definitely need to pop someone back in our woodcutter's lodge, don't we? We're burning through firewood these days, if you all enjoy the fun. And then in terms of food, again, I think we're alright. Like I said, I wouldn't mind some larger food plots, like veg and maybe a couple more apple orchards, we'll see. Because the population's really shot up here, up to 171 now. Let's go ahead and build up those houses that we lost over here, that were supposed to be artisans. Let's just run that to the corner. There we go, they have all that artisan upgrade now, which is good. There are people up here now, but they're not meeting their demand fully, which is interesting. Food supply store is totally out there. Can we squeeze in some market space, I wonder? How about directly behind the burger spots here? I'm going to put a market up here for these houses. It probably won't populate for a while, I imagine. But we'll keep our eye on it. We're going to stick another woodcutter in there as well. And actually take someone back out of the logging camp. Just to balance our main supplies a little bit more. Yeah, do we want to have a look at bringing up... Yeah, let's get that last level 3 house done. And do you still have the resources to process from that clay? No, it's all gone now, so come out the clay furnace as well. We won't be bringing the rest of these level 3 for quite a while yet, I imagine. So, have a little walk by our level 3 houses here at night time, shall we? It's in a very dramatic setting by the foot of the cliff and the river, isn't it, this town? But really cool. Walking through the markets up to the level 3 stalls. Now this whole square will look, I guess this whole circle, will look really cool when it's fully encased by level 3 housing. Really sweet. Can we run inside yet? Oh, not yet. Maybe one day. It's almost like the title screen, that image there, isn't it? With the light coming through the window. Very cute. Wonderful, aren't they tall? Really nice, love that. So this is level 2 now, this first burgage plot we set up, but I want to set you to become an artisan. And in terms of what I want you to be, this will enable the production of tools and spears and sidearms. Making our own spears could be quite spicy. A blacksmith would be good. A butcher would give us food variety with sausages, but we don't have salt, so not really a possibility, and we won't have it for a while yet either. So I think blacksmith's workshop is the most appealing. We can also produce crossbows with the iron parts. Let's do blacksmith. And then is he going to need iron bars maybe? Otherwise plenty of equipment coming in here. Now we got 21 and 17 with plenty of militia available. And there is our new development point. Isn't that exciting? So there's our next level 3 house. All fully encased in this little square now. Really, really cool. How many people live in here? 4 families. Okay. That's our cobbler, isn't it? Yeah, our cobbler shop is there. So again, still happy? Yep. Fully happy houses all around the central square here. I think we just need to work on some resources for these folk down here, don't we? Maybe do, although I guess there's actually no one living here yet. But, food store supply and clothing store supply both needed down this end. Let's have a look at you. So please focus on spears. Yeah, for which you will want iron slabs and planks. So you should be able to stay fed there. The bloomery is right across the road. And I think with that, I'm going to ask that we stop importing spears if we're now making them, because it's 17 gold. They're not exactly cheap. And then let's have a look at our next level, which next one's Medium Town, which is quite a ways away yet. Always come back to Shack's Bits. So we were thinking about this one, weren't we, which is Better Deals, reduces all foreign import tariffs by half at the trading post, effectively reducing import prices by 5. That's not too bad. That's not too bad. The other option for trade is to go down the foreign suppliers. Or we can do the armorer's workshop, which will allow mail armor and plate armor to be made. I think we're going to go with better deals. I think the more trade we can do, the more prepared we're going to be for that eventual war. With so many new people coming in as well, I'm also going to recruit some new units, so I'm going to go for an extra batch of archer militia. And then how many warbows do we have in stock at the minute? There's 30 there. I'm almost tempted to switch our boyer's shop here to start producing the old crossbows. I think we'll let some spares build up from our own supply first, yeah. Just want to make sure we are also still keeping on top of iron ore with those additions that we've made. Yeah, people are transporting, they're still bartering, which is cool. We are down to fairly low food here, so I think we need to address that, don't we? We've got plenty of honey coming in. We could apply some more families to the apiaries. That would give us a little bit of a boost. Let's not do them all though, because we will need some. Our berries will be back in the season in a second, and our hunting people. Are you still hunting? We got a lot of animals left actually. So let's actually do 2 families over in the Hunter's Lodge, and we'll take a family out of the apiary. Cool, there we go. Starting to come up a little bit now. So yeah, we definitely reached, I think, our critical mass for this current size and food supply. If we want to grow any more, we're going to need some larger food bearing plots like so. So I wouldn't mind having a look at those. In terms of where we can put them, I wouldn't mind developing a road behind these. I think I'd also like a road around the edge of the castle as well. There we go. And then we can probably use the points there to actually draw out and begin to create some new town infrastructure. Let's keep this main road going. This will go all the way through the woods. Probably up to the river. Maybe we're making a bridge over there at some point. Can we do that now? Oh, we can. There's our first bridge, isn't that great? Which I guess is good for us, but it also opens up another point of attack. But we could build on this peninsula. That is actually our territory there, isn't it? Yeah. But yeah, maybe we can build on the peninsula. And we do have salt out here. I'll tell you what, let's go ahead and get these salt mine done. We'll just get that built. It's a fair old ways away yet, but we'll use it at some point. It does allow us to maybe bring sausages into the equation. And I think with the food as well, I'm also going to kill the trade of apples as well. I think I want them to remain in our province a little bit longer if it's going to hurt our food supply that much. But it is climbing up again now. I think we're selling plentiful things really, aren't we, to having to worry about selling the apples. Let's head back to Wildfeld. We've got some more people in here now. Let's stick an extra family in the farming and help plough that field by hand. But did we run out of planks over here? Let's go ahead and get some people back in the saw pit. And the woodcutter's lodge seems to be okay. These guys got 1,000. What the hell? Where did you get all that from? Is that from selling all your fish? Holy smokes. Holy smokes. 1,000 regional well. Well, that's fine. Let's give you some upgrades and let's spend it, right? Probably give some chicken coops as well, I reckon. Definitely some more vegetable plots because they are working out tremendously well at this size of burgers plot. I think we'll set up some smaller homes to house the chickens. I think all these big ones we will just go ahead and do vegetable plots straight away. Now getting some soaked goods over here, are we? Let's do more granary workers then, as I don't want those goods getting ruined. Aha, we are being attacked, are we? Where is this? Where is this? Quite a while away actually, isn't it? Did I see bandit camp as well, or just raiders? Either way, time to summon the merry man. Let's just go ahead and do all of them. I'm not sure how many are coming. I'll come and summon over here. We should see our village sprint to war now. I say that as almost nobody leaves. Are you guys going? We're being attacked. Can we hurry over? Are we okay? Where's our retinue? Are you being serious? Are you just gonna glitch out like that? Okay, so we're experiencing some mild early access bugs, I imagine. We've got quite a few coming over there. 4 parties this time, goodness gracious. Hopefully they're gonna come over this bridge, that'd be a fantastic bottleneck, but if my archers don't pull their fingers out, we're going to get clapped. I want archers looking onto the sides here, please, boys. And then let's gather our spears. Let's get you right up by the bridge. Yeah. And then slant at the retinue behind. It looks like they're coming this way, right? Unless they're going to cross the other bridge, in which case they've bamboozled me. Looks like they are going to come this way, though. Yeah, so that would appear to be a bit of a bug, wouldn't it? They are having trouble rallying out of the doors, it would seem. They're getting stuck on other sims. Which could be really detrimental to your entire campaign, couldn't it? Imagine if you didn't summon in time. So they should be moving through this forest line any moment now. There we go. Let's see if we can shoot them from across the river here as they approach. Always love a fight in Manor Lords. We're getting one every episode at the minute. Arrows flying across the river here is very dramatic, isn't it? Oh, deadly. Look at that. Very cool. They're taking the pace in before they've even got to the bridge. Interesting to see how much extra damage the bows do than the crossbows, really. Have to hire a unit, I think. As far as I'm aware, friendly fire is not a thing in Manor Lords. This first unit's already reached here was fairly ineffective. See if we can get some side shots in here. There's one of them. Give us some mild influence there. Tell you what, let's bring these spears around the side to open up those back shots. And I want to make sure we keep those flanks open, because those side shots with the archers really do tear at the bandits. If we can get them in a clump like that at the bottlenecks. Pull our retinue out of battle a little bit there, I think. Let the peasants, so to speak, take the bulk of the pounding. No, don't get them to come up with the archers, you idiots. Get away, get away. There we go, they're all done. They're all done. Stock's damaged by weather, that's absolutely fine. Everyone go home. And what a dramatic end to the episode, right everyone? Absolutely terrifying. The Lord thanks you, boys! Thank you for defending my borders. So he walks among the bodies, right? Terrible scenes. Absolutely terrible scenes. On a rainy day as well. Goodness gracious. Look at them carrying the bodies back. Whistling as they do it, as if they're carrying a bag of grain. Of course. The hardy men of Shack Spits, everyone. Aren't they just wonderful? So we've got 43 bodies to bury over here. So we're going to remove some apiarists and ask that some people work in the church to get those bodies buried. There we go. Let's take a dead body. They should be doing that any second. And then I think we did want to also increase our food bearing burger spots as well, didn't we? So I'm going to go ahead and create a spot out here. I don't want to destroy those berry bushes. Make sure we really don't encroach upon them. That is a critical food source over here. Yep. Let's get that done. That should be a really interesting shaped burgage there. Let's make this our highest priority. We're getting new farmers in here all the time though, aren't we? Very nice. All this space over here. Yeah, I guess we had such a fairly big population expansion today, haven't we? Now, how are people doing here? They're producing some spares. Okay. Are we stocking them in the regular warehouse? Yes, we are. Okay. Cool. So I think in terms of killing power, I wonder if we've got 28 spares there now. Got a fair bit stocked up. I think I want to switch the blacksmith over to iron parts. And then I'm going to switch my oil shop over to crossbows. So I really want to see just how much more powerful they are. Now in terms of iron bars, are you staying stocked? Currently out of iron here. I think in that regard then I'm going to remove the smithy, so our source of iron bars goes straight to the blacksmith. I think is what I want to happen there. I'm also going to buy a mule for the pack station as well, so they can move the iron ore back into a little bit quicker. Are we keeping that fish stocked in here? No, not currently at the minute. Yeah, let's really get that next burger spot done. Let's do some more apples here, I think. And then I also want the living space upgrade too. Cool. So we'll keep the outer area of this town just the total apple orchards, which will look really cool when it's all done, isn't it? Then that'd be a really kind of cool visual detail for the town there. So I want to increase some of our food bearing burgers plots here. Yeah, so I think around the back of our orchards we'll transition to some larger vegetable houses, I think. Yeah, so let's run some road networks here to shape what's going to happen. And let's see what we can squeeze in here. I want this to be fairly large. But it may be a little bit too big. We'll probably put... what would one look like in there? That would give us an absolutely enormous farming space. With 2 homes on it as well, so we can have 2 families living and working this land. So I think we will go for that, I think. We will lose the wood, of course, but it's not like it's in short supply. There is pretty much endless wood across these maps. It'd be good to see some more arid maps introduced, I think, wouldn't it? Farthest Frontier is very good at kind of map variation with the random seed generation it has. I feel like Manor Lords would benefit from something similar perhaps one day. Yeah, but that was really wonderful, right, isn't it? It is very cool kind of seeing the progression of a town cut into the forest, you know? Really like that. I also want more down here as well. Let's continue our food expansion. So we've got a road through here. Let's go ahead and put in here a little bit. Send this. Let's say level with this burgers pot that we just set up a moment ago. send this down to the Riverside Road. Cool. And let's go for another one here. Try to keep the houses kind of facing toward the village if we can. And now we're going down pretty mad terrain here. We're going to be okay. Let's bring it into the corner. And then we just want to say 1 here as well. 2 could possibly work and give us a bit of variation. We also get living spaces here too. Oh, do we want to do one big one though? I'm going for kind of volume here. So bigger the better, especially if we're going to get extra families in here as well. Yeah, let's go for bigger and better on the edge of town here. We can do more smaller spaces toward the centre of town here. We're getting big here now, Shark Spits, aren't we? Things are really coming up. 156 people in the town now, 7 right now. Alright, we're still a little ways off of affording the second settlers camp. Because I would like to get the farmland working here at some point. But we need to also make claim, I think, to Hildebald at some point. We do have the 2k influence needed to claim a town. Maybe something to consider next episode. Perhaps we look at taking something back from Hildebald. Speaking of those eventual wars, how are we doing for kind of numbers now? The main reason I'm rushing so much population here as these get built is I want to make sure we can fully stack, or fully stock, I suppose, 36 or 36 units per card. Because we've got, even though we have a number of cards here, they're still quite low in numbers, so we need the men to fight, literally. But this will be fun, watching this big space get cleared out over here. I think we'll do... We said we want vegetables here, don't we? So vegetables immediately, and then let's get the living space upgrade done. And that gives us a fair old growing space, doesn't it? Look at that. Very cool indeed. We get a little secondary shed down here as well. I think although there's very limited detail in Manor Lords, there's a lot you can do with the zonings and the buildings to create the detail. Which I know isn't really a part of this game just yet, kind of the detailing. But hopefully it will be one day. There will be a list of props and perhaps trees we can place and whatnot. Really landscape the Lord's Manor one day would be a very cool addition to the game. But either way, I think everyone's happy over here. We're waiting for these burger spots to be done. Over this way, which they already are, and we can do... Do you want to make some more apples? We do have quite a lot of apples already. I think we'd like to balance in some veg, so let's do it. And then another living space there as well. No, that's perfect. And we won't go... We could do one more. Up here, up to the stone mine. I think we will. Because of course these are going to take a couple of years to actually produce anyway. But getting them in now is going to be a good idea. And then if you want to kind of build around the stone deposit, which we're not currently collecting, are we? We do have 17. There's no one in the stone cutter though. We'll finish the episode by balancing our families in a second. And then let's go ahead and do the box just around stone here. And are we okay here? Are we colliding with a little fence, are we? And then let's tie that into the roads we've just been building. Shark Spits can really increase its footprint this episode, can't it? Thank you for supporting this episode as well, by the way. You are making it to the end of the Manor Lords episodes. Thank you so much for watching. Over here, and that is another enormous one, isn't it? I think it's maybe a little bit too big though. I think we'll bring it down to about that. And then we might as well fill this space, hadn't we? Let's bring this road up again, where it would make sense to just carry on that trajectory. And then do we have a little frontage road we can set up here? Yeah, and then we can fill that in there as well. And one there too. So that should be absolutely wonderful. Let's let time run here as well. I want to come into the autumn as we finish this episode, ready for the winter next time. Let's head over to Windfeld, or Wildfeld even. We did some big vegetable expansion here as well. These guys are rolling in regional wealth. Yeah, so I reckon we should also come in and trade, because we're not meeting these guys, are we? Clothing supply isn't met, which is insane considering we've got 86% approval and they have no clothes. Which is an interesting kind of visualization, isn't it? Yeah, let's absolutely get you a horse. You should be having a horse here. And then with the money we are earning from this, so let's go to commodities and we will import some shoes. We're going to set up the established trade route because it is a major trade, so you do need the trade route for it. And then let's say a minimum of 10. Just keep it very basic supplying. And we might as well go full ham here, right? Let's go in all 5 families in the trade post. We should have plenty of iron ore to shift, so more things we can sell. And how are these guys receiving honey from Jack's Pit? So actually getting a ton of it, aren't they? 146. 149 even. Which is mental. That's a lot of honey that's stockpiling here. I guess a much smaller population though, so it's lasting a lot longer. And the Wildfeld grain has also arrived in the granary now too, so the farm is producing. Which means we now need to look at turning that into something for which we can put someone in the windmill, and we can possibly look at some grain trade as well. How much is it worth? Under crops. So we can export it for 2, which isn't bad. And we're now getting flour as well. How much is flour worth compared to the grain? So that'd be craftable materials, right? Yeah. The flour's worth 3, so we can get an extra gold per unit if we just spend the manpower in the windmill, which won't be a permanent job anyway. I'll only need doing once a year. As we can enjoy the aesthetic of fields in Manor Lords, which is always so impressive. Take a screenshot from that. I love the weather in this game. Just listen to the atmosphere, everyone. I was wanting to let the game kind of breathe for a second there. That was such a picturesque moment, wasn't it, with a man walking past with his wheelbarrow. Very special indeed. Very special. I bloody love this game. Absolutely fantastic. So yeah, we said we want to refine our family distribution here for what's going on. These are all coming over time. We do have someone in the berries yet. That's cool. How are we doing for meat? We do have 2 families in here now. Which they are hunting. Which is, it's fine. We've just got a lot of demand here now for food. With those families then, I'm happy to keep on honeying up in these apiaries, especially in the centre of town around this granary. Let's get them working. We'll keep some families free, of course, for moving the oxes around. Trade here is pretty balanced at the minute. Whatever comes in immediately pays for stuff going out. So at possibly point where we want to look at our imports now and maybe refine a little bit. I think we can reduce malt because we're making a ton of beer. Yeah, there's 110 in the granary, so malt is overproducing. Let's bring the desired surplus down. We also need to pay for tool and iron slab exports as well because well, iron slabs are leaving, but tools still need to be paid for. So we'll have to remember to do that. And we've now got those crossbows hanging out in the large storehouse as well, coming from our boy, which is cool. So we'll be able to start using some crossbows very soon as well. That might even replace one of our archers if we remove you. And then grab some crossbow instead. Can we grab 2? No, that's our unit limit there. This current size, I'm guessing. So yeah, we'll have 5 of them, and once we get attacked, we'll try and see if we can do a test between crossbows and the bows and see how they perform. We're also getting quite a few pantries full messages here, which I know it is apple harvest time, but probably we've not had an extra granary worker for a little while just yet, have we? So let's get those people gathering up these apples here. Oh, would you look at that? Some of our trees have grown. Yes, please. Oh, cool. So this whole area is going to grow to that size. I wonder if that's max size. How big are apple trees? I'm trying to picture one now. I'll probably say that's about as big as they grow, right? That's really cool, isn't it? I wasn't expecting them to grow. For some reason. I'm quite happy to see them grow up a little bit. Really sweet. Wonder if they'll grow a little bit taller. But how cool is the edge of town looking now, right? We have all this food production land cut into the forest here. I'm pretty mental terrain as well. Be careful our cabbages don't roll downhill, right? Straight into the water. Would be pretty bad. But otherwise really cool. We're starting to sustain a much larger population now. And I'm pretty happy with it. Things are going pretty well. Let's go ahead and have a look at these people here. Yeah, so in terms of food, yeah, we're getting a few disapprovals now, which I'm guessing is these new people coming in and not having their very basic demands met because they're not, you know, over there, basically. So let's have a look at finishing the episode with, I know I've said that about 4 times today. I can't stop playing Manor Lords. Let's set up another kind of basic supply chain for this side of town. And we'll come in with a granary. And we'll also do a storehouse as well. I'm just going to keep lining this main street with all this important infrastructure. And then I think we'll send a road behind here. We'll start to kind of densify the stuff around the castle if we like. So we did kind of look at the well, didn't we? And because this one was fancy, but I think maybe we can keep them a little bit more happy if we also give them that very basic need as well. Even though they can reach the other one, I guess it's going to make sense for town to eventually have one. Do you know what would be cool actually if we could do one in the Lord's Manor? Are we allowed to do that? Oh, that's very irritating. It would have been cool if like the Lord could have built his manor around a water source. That would feel very appropriate, right? We can have a well here though, that's fine. That's right on the water vein. Let's get these building up. Then what else was it we wanted here? Yeah. We'll be able to supply all of those needs via a new storehouse here. Which will help supply this side of town as we continue to go out here. Continue harvesting that stone, etc. We've still got plenty of space to come in here as well, so fresh workers should be arriving non-stop. There we go. There's another one right there. Getting stocks damaged by weather over here as well. Yeah, possibly even more granary workers needed. But yeah, those apples really kicking the food chain up the backside again, aren't they? 259 of them from the current configuration we have. I think if we check the stockpiles of houses, there are still some to be collected. Yeah, we also don't need our berry worker anymore. He has finished for the year, although we are still collecting herbs from there now. Which are appearing in the granary as well, which is giving us another bit of variation, which is cool. That's a nice little addition, that herb garden. It's worth the little investment you have to do for it. Our storehouse is done. Let's go ahead and turn it on and also upgrade it straight away as well, because we'll eventually need it. And the granary is also about to finish up too. And let's actually take someone out of this granary and put them in this one. That way we'll just have hands this side of town to collect all of this rather than having to rush from over there. They can just start a bit closer toward this side of the town here. And also this direction too. I think I also wouldn't mind removing more of these burgers plots and creating a 3 road from this square to this road, because I feel that's going to become quite an important route. Currently you have to go all the way around. We would lose a level 3 house though. With an animal pen, which we could buy in some animals. I wouldn't mind setting up some dedicated animal houses, actually. Although we did actually start bringing in the livestock trading post, don't we? We could set up a animal farm then. Let's have a look at sheep farming. Where do we want to do this? Maybe out here by the stone is a good shout. Although we're going to kind of densify, do I want like more large town around this side of the castle? I guess having the food production this side of the hillside, and then we could do sheep farming here probably makes sense, doesn't it? So let's build that over there. And then let's also build some pasture. It will just about snap into place. Perfect. So we can have that as sheep pasture here on the hillside by the woodland. So hope there's no wolves in there for them, right? Famous for not getting on sheep on wolves, aren't they? And how are we doing here now? We're collecting a lot of war stuff here. And this isn't too far up being finished. Okay, there we go. And new market stalls also propping up too, which is fabulous. In terms of clothing, actually, I wouldn't mind another shoe shop in here. I just need 4 more gold to get this tools trade, which will really help fuel our regional wealth here. Really want to get this going. Superb. There is 120 gold. Let's go ahead and get that trade working. We're going to come to commodities and dedicated established trade route for tools. So we can finally sell them. So that should really help channel more regional wealth here. But in terms of basic needs here, we only have 1 cobbler, for example, like 1 shoe shop. Now, we need to bring them to level 2 for that one. Did we do anything with this one yet? No. Let's get this growing up to level 2 as well. We have our blacksmith here, of course. But I'd like to put another cobbler in town as well, so we can have some shoes. At which point, we need to put someone in the tannery as well, because we've got a lot of hide to process into leather there. Our initial home's still satisfied with leather. Yeah, they do. I'm not sure if clothing store supplies are continuous by, like, once they have 1 pair of shoes, do they need them again in their lifetime? Well, I guess they don't really have a lifetime in Manor Lords, do they? They don't age, there's no children, etc. This level 2 berry spot is done, so you shall become a cobbler. Would it also, actually, should we do Tailor's Workshop? Yeah, I think we'll do Tailor's Workshop, actually. Because we already have shoes, so let's keep that variation going. Always helpful to variate whenever you can in Manor Lords. We're seeing some veg come into the food economy now, which is good. And hopefully it's not too long before these start to produce. They're not super happy with me. They are quite far away. But we've still got positive at least. As long as we're above 50, I'm mostly happy. I believe above 75% gives you a much more increased chance of families arriving, but we're up to 174 population now. I also want to draw out some roads here too. Begin to map out some of that future expanse for this side of the city. So 380 has come in via the regional wealth now. And I think we'll spend a bit of that regional wealth on some livestock. So let's have a look what we want to do. So let's buy some sheep. We will import them. And I guess we'll keep a desired population of 2, I suppose. And then we'll just start out with that. And it did our sheep farm get built? It did. No, it's not a sheep farm. Sheep farm's over here. Let's put someone in that. Which will also give us wool, which means we can start to possibly sell that. I think wool's worth quite a bit, isn't it? That'll be in crafting supplies. Only 2 for export, it's not incredible. Probably better to turn it into clothes first, I imagine, right? Which I think will be another artisan. And we could turn some of these houses into chickens. I think chickens have taken a hit. Because eggs don't seem to be as powerful as they once were in this new patch. But I think veg, an animal pen would also be good. I did say I wanted some animal pens, so let's build them. They're not really massively fussed about size. Should we do 4 here? Let's do 4. Wait for these to get built up with some planks, which we still should have. Still got the construction materials. 11 timber's not too bad. We've got 2 families in the logging camp. Possibly time for another relocation as well soon. And then do pigs. I feel like pigs would be good. Let's do pigs. So we've got 4 pigs in there. That should really help prop up our meat supply for the year. And then maybe we'll do 4 goats along here or something. Which will really help kind of just prop up some hide supplies too, which would be quite nice. Yeah, we've also just been informed that our royal tax has been increased. Which doesn't sound like very good news at all, does it? So we have to pay them 228 treasury wealth, which will eat up. How long have to pay that? 340. Yeah, we won't collect that in a year. We have to pay it as well, otherwise we'll get invaded, right? Which is terrible news to end the episode on, isn't it? But either way, guys, this has been a long one. Apologies for my Manor Lords rambling. Can't stop playing the game. Really, quite a lot of fun. Massive shout out to the patrons that help support the channel. Roll call to our golden eggs, Andrew Perez, Louis Adlam, O'Hay Casino, and Phoenix MD. Want to get involved in that, links below to Patreon. And Instant Gaming, the best ways to get a little bit more out the channel, if you so wish. But look at the little pigs here. Isn't that cool? Lots of progress made in today's episode. Shack Spit has increased significantly to the point we have our royal tax has been increased now. And then our people are also farming the massive new vegetable farms that have been placed out here today. But the town's really growing up. I'm trying to get a bit of a hilltop perspective here. Like that, we're building on the terrain. It's going to be really cool, I think, when we begin to approach 400 to 500 people in the town and we have this sprawling area around the castle. It should be really sweet. Well, thank you so much for watching and enjoying Manor Lords. I hope you are continuing to enjoy it. Otherwise, I'll shut up and leave it there. Thank you all so much indeed for watching. As always, enjoy the rest of your day.